Hello and welcome to Crimes of the Heart Tarot. I'm Miss Vicki, and I'm going to use the tarot to see if we can gain more insight into unsolved mysteries, deaths, and disappearances. Let's get started. Welcome to Crimes of the Heart Tarot. I'm so glad you're here. Today I want to do a tarot reading about O.J. Simpson. This is April 12th. His family announced that he had passed away at the age of 76 from prostate cancer. I think they announced that Wednesday. He passed away Tuesday. Now, he had an amazing life, very volatile, very interesting man. He was a famous football player. I think he was in the Hall of Fame, the Heisman Trophy. I'm not a football follower. I don't know what you call that, football fan. So I don't know a whole lot about his football career, but I know he was famous. He retired and became a football newscaster. He went on, he was very handsome, very charismatic. He went on to have a career in TV commercials and movies, and I believe he lived with his first wife, Marguerite, near Beverly Hills, that area. He divorced his first wife, Marguerite. They had 3 children. One had passed away drowning, I believe, in a drowning accident. I mean, he was famous. He was a big celebrity in LA and Hollywood. He remarried, I think it was in 1985, he met Nicole Brown, and they became man and wife in 1985. Now, she had been a waitress, from what I've read. I don't want to go into the total history of O.J. and Nicole because it's out there. I want to do a reading on the trial that he went through for the murder of his wife and her friend, Ron Goldman. And I don't want to go into too much detail. Now, O.J. and Nicole had a very volatile relationship. She was quite a bit younger than him, quite beautiful, really beautiful woman. They had 2 children. They had a lot of police calls for domestic abuse. I don't know if it was domestic abuse on both sides, but I do remember one incident where the police were called to their home, and this is really this is what stuck in my mind of all the things that were in the news about them. Nicole was naked or partially naked, hiding in the bushes outside their home, where she told the police he had physically attacked her, abused her. Now, this is all alleged. This is just my opinion of the energy around the cards that I'm going to be laying out. Just my interpretation of the reading of the cards, and it's all for entertainment purposes. You can go online. All of this information's online. Everything. They later divorced in 1992. She still lived in the Brentwood area, I think it was. She had a nice condo there. And they went out, I'm not sure what the month was. I'm not going to do all the details or I would be here for the rest of my life. Anyway, Nicole and her 2 children, and I can't remember if it was a friend or one of her sisters. They went out to dinner at a restaurant, a local restaurant nearby that they frequented. Then they went for ice cream. They came home, parked the car, and apparently she had left her sunglasses at the restaurant, and Ron Goldman had returned them. They knew each other. She was pretty famous in the area for being the ex-wife of O.J. Simpson. Ron Goldman knocked on her condo door. I don't know what time. I'm not going to go into, like I said, the details. And when he opened the door and was in the process of giving her sunglasses back,
They were attacked, viciously attacked, and I'm going to say slashed to death. As the children were there, I'm not sure if the children discovered their bodies or not. The children, they heard the commotion, I guess. And I honestly can't remember if it was her sister or a friend that was there, a nanny, somebody. They called the police came out and all that. After that, and I don't know if it was the next day, this was in the evening, OJ gave a friend, I'm going to take the liberty of calling him OJ, gave a friend what looked like a note saying he was going to end things. And he was located, the police were going to arrest him, and I don't know why. They, I guess, either arrest him or bring him in for questioning. But he left a note, a rambling note, with a friend. It sounded like a I'm going to off myself note, and I'm guilty and all this stuff. I'm da-da-da-da-da. That note is online too. And then OJ got into his white Bronco, and then the famous low-speed white Bronco chase on the freeways of LA happened. He drove around for 60 miles up and down the freeway at a slow rate of speed. I laugh because I look back and I think how ridiculous this whole thing was. It was, helicopters were filming it, it was on television, there were people cheering him on, all that. He was arrested. They did gather evidence, and he went to trial for the murder of Nicole and Ron Goldman. I think it was early 1995, I'm not sure. It was a long trial. And he was subsequently found not guilty by the jury. It was a crazy trial. It was on TV, and all this strange stuff came up. Was televised, and all kinds of things happening, people outside the courtroom. He had hired very, very high, powerful lawyers to defend him. Johnny Cochran, who was a famous civil rights lawyer, very famous in the black community, did amazing. You need to look these lawyers up too. Johnny Cochran, F. Lee Bailey, Robert Shapiro, and believe it or not, Robert Kardashian. Yes, of the Kardashian fame. He was the father of the Kardashians, the husband. He came out of retirement. Apparently, OJ was a friend of the Kardashians, had been to their house and all that, and he came out of retirement to defend him. Now, I want to do this reading. I could go on and on. You need to look this up if you're interested. I just want to find out, did he in fact, is he guilty of offing his ex-wife, I have to say that, offing his ex-wife and her friend Ron Goldman. I just want to focus on that. A couple more notes. Later on that year, or no, I guess in 1997, Nicole Brown's family and Ron Goldman's family sued OJ, in a civil trial and won $33.3 million. Now, OJ he moved to Las Vegas. He had a lot of problems after that. I could spend hours talking about it, but I just want to hit the highlights. He was arrested in Las Vegas, I don't know the year, for bursting into someone's hotel room with a weapon, and he was claimed that they had stolen some of his sports memorabilia, he and a friend, and they wanted it back. He actually went to jail for, I think he was convicted and went to jail for 9 years. I'm not sure if he served it all. Like I said, I wasn't a follower of him, but I'm hitting the highlights. When he was released from jail, he moved to Florida, basically retired. I don't even know how old he was. He was older then. And it's pretty much stayed out of the news. But I want to focus this reading on, did OJ, in fact, murder his ex-wife and Ron Goldman? So we've laid some cards out, did a lot of shuffling. I'm using the retro poster tarot. because it kind of has the air of the times. I just like this deck. I've been using a lot of the retro decks lately. Mainly I pick my decks for the images. The images cue my brain into thinking this or that, or focusing on something. They come together and tell a story I find better if I have a lot of pictures to look at. All right, the first card we get is the Knight of Swords. Hopefully you can see this. All right, Knight of Swords. Now, the Knight of Swords is, at the time of these murders, I'm not sure how old O.J. was. He wasn't an old man. This is someone who, this has little things on it. I never even noticed that. Ambitious, risk taker, fast talker, quick-witted, impatient, and honest. All right, well, he was a major celebrity. The Knight of Swords is, it's interesting the Knight of Swords comes up because the crime was apparently done with a, can I say, a blade of some kind, a sharp blade. So there we have the Knight of Swords. Now this is not an old man, this is a middle-aged to young man. This is somebody who is a risk taker. That really catches my eye. He was. At the time of the murders, he'd been a celebrity. He made a lot of money, and he had parties, and he was living the celebrity lifestyle. He never remarried after their divorce. All right, then we have the lovers. Love, duality, relationships, yin and yang, and harmony. Now when they were first married, they were a happy couple. Nicole was younger, very naive. I don't know how old she was when they married. She wasn't very old. Totally overwhelmed with his celebrity. Her family was enamored of O.J., mainly because of his celebrity, his presence. He was very charming at the time. They were just overcome with it. He's a celebrity. Amazing that he wants to marry you. I do remember that. All right, then we have the Strength card. This is willpower, coercion, persuasion, control. Now, from everything that I've heard, that looks kind of like Nicole. He was a control freak, narcissistic, and this is just my opinion. And if you're an O.J. fan and you don't want to hear anything negative about him, then don't listen to this reading, because I want honesty. I want the honest truth to come through. I want to know after all this time. He was very, at the time, another word that comes to mind looking at these cards, the lovers. Here's the Star card. Oh my gosh. Hope, purpose, peace, possibility, spirituality. She was very beautiful. He was very possessive. And I don't know what the terms of their divorce were. I don't read the celebrity magazines. I just remember what was on the basic news at that time. I don't know how they got the divorce, what the grounds were. I know she had, I think, mostly custody of the children. Anyway, this is the reading around the time of the murders. Ace of Pentacles. This says a new business opportunity, investment, security. Ace of Pentacles. I wonder if she was renegotiating the terms of her divorce. He was very wealthy, I know that, but he was really powerful then. Strength. He had a lot of parties, a lot of things going on at that time. He was a power to be reckoned with. And then we've got the Nine of Pentacles. This is an independent woman, financially independent. She wanted to cut more ties with him, I'm getting. She was easygoing when it came to him. She did not want to be married to him anymore. But there was something going on at the time of the murders, and they were murders. I think I can say that since it's true. This is all alleged, but there was something going on, negotiations. I'm getting a gift or money. I think she wanted to cut the ties with him. I get the feeling he was over there a lot. still thinking he owned her. Oh my gosh, why did I say that? He owned her. She was like a possession to him. And he wanted to control her. That's what I'm getting. Let's pull a few more cards. At the time, he was at the height of his, I would say, fame and everything. He had made an awful lot of money, but he had a lot of parties, a lot of hanger-oners. Something was coming up around the time that she and Ron were murdered. I get possible finances, cutting of ties. She wanted to, I almost want to say move away or get away, even though they were divorced. He was over there a lot, is what I'm getting. A few more cards. I don't know anything about that time. I didn't read the gossip magazines. I don't really dwell on that kind of thing. I read some things online. I don't try not to get too much information. All right, so what precipitated this? Now, I'm not saying he did it yet. I don't see that in the cards. But I do see possession, star power. He thought he was invincible. I'm getting that at the time of the murders. There were negotiations going on. The cards haven't said what happened yet. It's too soon. She wanted more independence from him. I think he was over there, walked in whenever he wanted to. It was about money. I don't know what kind of money she was getting, child support, whatever. I know he was spending a lot of money at the time. He had parties, he had hanger-oners, I think I said that. So there was a lot going on. All right, then we got the Three of Swords. This is heartbreak. The little words on this, I never noticed those before. Sorrow, depression, tears, grief, sadness, loneliness. I think this is him more than her. He did not want to lose her. He saw her still as his possession, I'm getting. This is pointing toward who murdered them, Nicole and Ron. The world. Completion, success, travel. He felt he had the world in the palm of his hands, and he could do, I feel like he felt invincible. Celebrity will do strange things to people. He had money, he had celebrity. She was his possession, and they did have 2 children. I don't know the terms of the divorce or anything. You can look it all up. Then we have the Four of Wands. The Four of Wands, this is about a completion of something. Homecoming, joy, family, happy events. This is really interesting. I'm reading these upright. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. But I thought, since they're so visual, they have so many great illustrations on these cards, we didn't need to do reversals of this reading. He was heartbroken about something. She had been heartbroken, but she was done. She was done with the fighting, the physical abuse I'm getting, and this is all alleged. It's documented. When the police were called out when they were married, they never did anything. OJ would go out and charm them and say, well, we just had a misunderstanding, and you know how women are. That's what I'm getting. This was something she was wanting or had done with her lawyers, was an ending, and to him it was something serious. We get the Four of Wands, it's completion, and then we have the Devil. All right, here we go. Addiction, sexuality, obsession, self-gratification, the shadow side. Whatever happened with them during this period before their deaths, she was renegotiating something. She had lawyers too. She had money. She was getting away from him permanently, is what I'm getting. This really, really upset him. Now, when I see the Devil card, this is OJ. And of course, this is all alleged. I have to keep saying that. I see addiction. I see not only narcissism and feeling like he possessed her, he owned her. I see substance abuse. His shadow side was coming out big time then. Really angry. There's a weapon. There's the hanger-oners. I think he was doing some kind of substance abuse that was very, very bad at the time. He didn't want to give her up. This was almost like a crossroads with her. She had done something to get him out of her life, is what I'm seeing. And this was an ending card for him. Now, he wasn't thinking straight. I don't believe he was thinking straight. He was doing some kind of substance abuse. I don't know what it is, what it was, but it was really mixing up his thinking. So far, this doesn't look too good for the night she was murdered. All right, a few more cards. This points to a very bad time that night for OJ. Now, she hadn't done anything as far as I know. She didn't have a live-in boyfriend or anything like that. She'd just gone to dinner and left her glasses. She was well known at this restaurant. It was close to their house, close to her condo. All right, what happened that night? I don't know if it was night or early morning. I don't know for sure. I think it was late evening, early evening. The Emperor. All right, this is authority. He made the decision, being the Emperor. He saw himself as the Emperor. He was very narcissistic, very powerful, held life and death in his hand. He made the decision to do something. And this is why I'm reading these cards. I want to know what he did that night, if he did it. And then we have the Queen of Pentacles. She was a really good mother. I mean, she seemed very happy being independent and away from him. Well, she wasn't independent. There were strings tied to the the children visits, the money, where she lived, what she did. He was still in control of her life. The Queen of Pentacles is a very solid person. She was making plans, and I feel like queens are mothers. She cared very much about her children and his influence on the children. That's what I'm getting. She was upset about when he visited. I think he had visitation rights. I don't know what she was planning. I'm sure you can find out something out there. And we have the Three of Wands. Progress, looking forward, travel, success. Yeah, she was making plans to move out of his life. Now, I don't know if that meant moving away, cutting the ties somehow. She wanted him away from the children and her. Boy, he was really, really out of control, too. I get the devil, I think. I don't know how old he was at that time. 1994, I'm not sure. He was not a young man anymore. Really, really out of control, I'm getting. His mind was clouded big time. I get that she had pushed him too far. This is him thinking. This is what I'm getting. She has pushed me too far, and I will take back control. That's what I'm getting. All right, did he do what he was accused of and was exonerated or found not guilty because of reasonable doubt? It's what the jury came back with. I think the cards are already telling me that night he was basically out of his mind because of what he was doing, substance abuse, and what she had been planning. I don't see her planning anything bad, but I see her planning to cut ties. All right, there's the Moon, Four of Pentacles, Two of Wands. All right, I'm needing an answer here. Did he do this? We have the Moon. All right, the Moon card is fear, nightmares, worry, deception. It can also mean, the Moon is hidden things. It can mean substance abuse. It can mean a form of, I don't want to say insanity, but mental fogginess, not seeing things straight. I think that's the situation he was in at the time. She saw things clearly. she wanted her children to be protected. That's what I'm getting. He wasn't seeing anything clear that night. And it was night. The Four of Pentacles. Materialism. Control. Saving money. Greed. Hoarding. He was hanging on. This is about hanging on. He did not want her to go through with what she was going to go through with. And he wasn't thinking clear at all. The Moon card, the Devil card, Two of Wands, making decisions, stepping out into the world, discovery. Yeah, he made a big decision that night. Now, I'm also getting the night that they were murdered. OJ wasn't thinking clearly, and I still don't see positive cards, but I see the cards leaning into a lot of anger, out of your mind, and he'd been doing a lot of shady things, I'm getting. Things that he didn't want anyone to know about. Not with the children so much, but things going on around the children. I think he did have visitation rights, and I'm not sure of the details. But there were some bad things going on around them. That's what she was upset about. She was protecting her children more than anything else, is what I'm getting here. Holding on, holding on. Substance abuse, power, anger. Making a decision. The Devil. A few more cards. We're going to need more than a few, I think. All right. Page of Pentacles. Planning. Beginning, skill development. Setting goals. Yeah, he planned this for a while, too. This is about money. I don't know what the money situation was, but I know he was spending a lot of money. All right, Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords is a sharp-witted woman, independent. It can also mean someone with no feelings. Swords are coming up a lot. We're getting a lot of swords. Somebody was in his life, this is not Nicole, that was causing problems for him too, I get. The Magician. He wanted to change things. He felt he had the power and the ability to do whatever he wanted. I believe he went over that night to change things. I don't know if she was going to take the children away because of substance abuse. It's something like that. And then we have the Two of Swords. Crossroads. Making a decision. Two of Swords can also mean two people. I also feel like he was tracking her somehow. And now, back in 1994, I don't know if you could track people's cell phones. But he knew everything she did. He was totally involved in her life. He knew her habits. I don't know if it was through the kids talking to him. I don't think you can put tracking information on someone's... Could he have hacked her phone? That would be 1994. He'd been thinking about this quite a while. Anyway, whatever she had decided to do to protect the children from his influence is what I'm getting. It pushed him over the edge. I believe he did go there that night. I don't see anybody else involved. He was out of his mind. Got the Hangman, Justice, the Hermit. Yeah, I think he lost control. I don't even know if he didn't plan this, I don't think, really, not long term. There's an awful lot of swords. He was so angry. You're going to take my children away. You can't do that. You belong to me, they belong to me. I'm famous. I don't think he went over there to talk to her. I think he was out of his mind with anger. whatever she had done with her lawyer pushed him over the edge. It's not her fault, but he took it as the end. The hanged man. This is a card about stepping back and surrendering. I think he had had a lot of fantasies about hurting her. This is all alleged. Hurting her. How dare she divorce me? How dare she move out? How dare she say I can't see the kids? That's what I'm getting. When he went over there, and that's what I'm getting, he might have planned it. It was not a long-term plan. But he was not thinking straight. This was about justice. I will show her fairness. This is so unfair. She can't do a lawyer. She can't call lawyers and change my life, what I'm going to do. I also see this as him going through the trial and everything. But this was his thinking. I will make things right. This just can't do that to me. You can't do that to me. They're my children. You're my wife. I own you. I own them. Then we have the Hermit. This is inner guidance, soul-searching, learning. He didn't do any of that, so I don't know who this is. I know he wasn't thinking straight. I'll put that card over here. Yeah, I think he went over. I don't know. He didn't plan. He planned it, but he didn't plan it long term. He'd been so angry for so long. And he figured he could get away with this because he was OJ. He was powerful. He was the big celebrity. He did go over there. I get a lot of swords cards to make things right. She can't do that to me. She can't do this to me, and I won't let her, and I'm going to end it. Going to end it tonight. I'll show her. That's what I'm hearing in my head. The Hermit card. This is usually somebody standing back. This could be him soul-searching. He's probably been angry for quite a while before this. And I'm seeing him that he did do this. The crimes. He did slash them to death. So out of control. So not even thinking like a normal person. So he did some soul-searching. But he didn't come up with the right answers. All right, so he went over there to administer justice to her. I will show her, and I will get away with it because I'm OJ. I've always gotten away with it. He did this. It was very angry. I don't think he had a plan, but he was just so filled with anger to get even with her. He left. Whoever was in the house, I think the children found her. That's just so sad. Of course, he called 911. It was too late. And I don't know why, but the police put out an arrest warrant for him. Now, did the children? Is it possible somebody heard his voice or said he did it? He's been threatening her. I'm kind of getting that. I don't know how he knew she was there. I almost feel like it was just luck, bad luck, or he was tracking her somewhere. Was he stalking her maybe? He was out of his mind at this point, and this is all alleged. This is just for entertainment purposes only. For some reason, and I say that because they weren't living together, the police were called and went to get him, and I believe they even put an arrest warrant out for him. So I don't know if somebody heard his voice. I don't remember. I don't remember the details. You can look it up. There's no doubt in my mind here that he did this, and he did it alone. It's just him, the Hermit. Yeah, he did this alone. There wasn't anybody with him. He didn't hire anybody. It wasn't a random person going to the door and stabbing people. He did this alone. And he figured it would be okay at the time, but he wasn't thinking straight. All right, so that's what I'm getting. Pull a few more cards. It's sad about the children. He, of course, was able to have custody of the 2 children, and he had the 2 children from his previous marriage with Marguerite. But I don't know what kind of a life they had after Nicole died. That was, what, 30 years ago? 94, 25. Yeah, that was 30 years ago when she was murdered. He's had custody of them. And if what Nicole was afraid of, the lifestyle, the fathering, the lies, substance abuse, she had a good reason to be afraid. That's what I'm getting to. Here's the justice card again. The trial was crazy. It was a crazy trial. It was on TV. It was a long trial. I'm surprised justice doesn't have a blindfold on in this card. And I'm not sure this applies to the... You know what I'm thinking? He died of prostate cancer, his family said. I almost feel like this is justice finally after 30 years. 30 years. And I believe they won the civil trial. But I think he only gave them a small amount of money, the Goldmans and Nicole Brown's family. I almost see this is the last card. I have my eyes drawn to this. Justice was finally served. That's what I'm getting. He did this. And he served, I think, later on when he went to Las Vegas and did that craziness with... See, he was doing a lot of things where he wasn't in his right mind after that. Money, parties, substance. And he was convicted of this crime, pulling a gun on this man. I don't remember what happened, if they beat him or what. He was convicted to 9 years of prison, which isn't enough for a murder of 2 people, but that's all I'm getting. I don't see a lot of planning. I don't see anybody else. What a shame. I see a huge ego for a long, long time. Lots of money, so much celebrity. And I see Nicole as being impressed with the celebrity and her family. They thought he was wonderful up until she disappeared from this earth plane. Her sister's been real strong in advocating for victims and things like that. And they never did get the money. They might sue the family. I'm just not seeing anything else. I just see somebody so narcissistic for so long. She was his property, the children. She was going to change something. She wanted to change maybe visiting rights or something. Custody. That basically to his mind was the end. Well, it's a sad story. You can look up all these people. The lawyers, in fact, had some amazing cases in Los Angeles, California. But I think justice has finally... I see Nicole saying justice has finally been served. But I see mostly that she was concerned about the children. She was a good mother. She was a very good mother, caught up with someone who just lost control of himself. She was too naive to really see what was going on for a long time. There she is. Well, I'd like to know your opinion. I mean, he was found innocent for lack of evidence, guilty in the civil case. What do you think about this? Just want to know about the murders. What's your opinion of it? Leave kind comments, nothing negative or you get zapped. And please subscribe, like, and share. Thank you for watching. I'm going to close the circle. And we'll see you next time. Bye.